What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about your Google Business Profile and these 7 levers of why they're important. I'm also going to kind of show how some systems that you can plug into your business to make this more operationally smoother and to have a lot of it automated on the back end. So let's talk about these 7 levers. So, why this matters. When someone searches for a service nearby, Google shows 3 businesses, that's the map pack. And then, just so you know, Google is the #1 website in the world, so you want to make sure that you are ranking on that website. Who does not want to basically rank #1 on the world's #1 used platform, especially since I don't know if you know this or not, but 80% of global users use Google as their default search engine. So, of course, you want to be the #1 on that platform. If you're not in it, you're invisible to the search. So ranking there isn't random. It comes down to a lot of trust signals for Google, and I can show you how to hit. It's the 7 most important levers when ranking. So here are the 7 levers. We'll break them down over the next couple of slides, and then we'll head on over to a software that you can use to automate most of this. So the first one is ask every customer for a review. And then you want to respond to the reviews the same day. Fix your NAP, which is your name, address, phone number. Make sure it's correct across all platforms and directories on websites. Post your profile weekly, so that's making an offer, an update, or any photos or videos that you can add consistently. Next one, upload photos consistently. 6, turn reviews into testimonies, so post them on social media platforms, your website. You want to use other people's words for your own leverage, and then Google also likes that when you paste those other places. And then make sure that you lock in and provide really just like make sure you provide the correct descriptions for each service. They are keywords that are going to help you rank when people are asking questions, searching for answers. It's not just show up to be the best plumber in Denver, Colorado. So you want to make sure that you're doing these things so that you show up in your local area on the map pack. Cool. So this is what I was talking about, where the first one, you want to make sure that you're asking every customer for a review every time, no matter how the job went. Don't just ask your favorites. I know some people are like, what if they had a bad experience? Of course, we all know negative experiences usually are the ones that leave bad reviews. But if you're not asking for reviews at all, then you're gonna get this heavy weighted side where all of the negative ones will just tank your star rating. So why this is why it's important to ask everybody, because the majority of who you serve, almost 98%, will have a good experience as long as you provide good customer service, you do the fulfillment on everything you're asked, and most people are satisfied and you're getting good feedback. And then for those people that leave those bad ones, they'll all be outweighed by the 5 stars that you're getting from everyone else. Also, if you keep people from if you try to be selective on who you're asking to leave a review, that is called review gating, and Google will find out if you're review gating and you don't have any say in the matter. Um, After they suspend you, they can permanently ban your Google Business Profile, and then your online visibility is completely gone. So you do have to abide by their rules, or else you run the risk of being suspended or permanently suspended. Number 2, you need to respond to reviews the same day. This is very important because Google likes to see that you're active on your profile, and your response time between does play a part in terms of your ranking ability. So if you're somebody that takes 30 days to respond, you may have a lot more reviews, but if you have somebody who responds to customers very quickly and handles issues or responds and thanks them for being a customer, a fast reply, even if it's a bad review, is the best chance to turn it around as well. It's just going to be the best ranking signal overall. It shows that you're paying attention to your customers. 3, fix your NAP everywhere. What is NAP? NAP is your name, address, and phone number, and it needs to match across your website and other social media platforms and directories. Even small mismatches like suite number, they quietly hurt your trust score on Google because Google doesn't know what is the correct information. I have seen this be a critical factor in keeping people out of the map pack just because their NAP is not correctly filled out on all directories and other social media platforms. Cool. Number 4, Post on your profile weekly, even if it's just to update what you guys have going on. Maybe it's a promotion you want to run that week. You do need to post on this consistently. Could just be updating maybe an event you have coming up, maybe a cool thing that you did for a customer. Maybe you're shouting out a review that really went above and beyond. Doesn't matter. Just find ways that you can post on there as well. This shows that you're being consistent on your Google Business Profile and it is active. And yes, it's a real ranking factor. Next one, number 5. Make sure you upload photos consistently, add new photos regularly. Before and afters are great, maybe some crews on site, vehicles or equipment, and finished work. Profiles with fresh photos actively, consistently outrank ones that go stale. Also, quick pro tip, if you have any videos of work being done, any action happening with the crews that are going on, make sure you post that on there as well. Videos are another ranking factor that can help you rank higher. Cool. Number 6, make sure you're turning your testimonies into, or I'm sorry, number 6, make sure you're turning your reviews into live testimonies. So what does that mean? So there are ways that you can actually go and just put these straight on your website, or you can make sure you're posting them to your socials. There are some softwares that we'll go over a little bit that can post directly to your website, and it's completely dynamic, automatic, no human involved. And they're the same thing with social posting. So like to go on Instagram and Facebook as well for your business. Really powerful tool because you can just pretty much set and forget with this. Number 7, make sure you lock in the right categories and services. Choose the most accurate primary category for what you do as your primary. And then for all your secondary categories, make sure that you list those as well. And you want to make sure you have a really strong description of each service that are highlight big keywords that people might search for that specific service itself. This is one of the most overlooked ranking factors, and it's one of the easiest fixes I see. So just a quick recap, ask every customer for a review, respond to reviews the same day, fix your NAP, post in your profile weekly, upload photos consistently, turn reviews into testimonials, lock in categories and services, and then rinse and repeat. So what we're going to talk about, this is what we're going to go head over to GHL and kind of go through. So how GHL, this is a tool, it's a software, and how we can use it to automate a lot of this process for other companies. We've done it before, and it really helps make this smooth as possible because you might be running into these certain problems where you don't have time to check these and respond immediately. Somebody might be leaving reviews in the evening and you're not watching your Google Business Profile, you're enjoying time with your family, or you're working on other marketing of your business and you're not looking at this. Another one is to get pushed out for NAP completely all at once, and it locks in that information so that way NAP is consistent and nobody can go in and change it. Really important for that. Maybe you're somebody that struggles with Google Business Profiles and asking for a review with every time. You don't have a clean system. That can be solved with automations where every time a invoice is paid, or a customer gets put into the system, then a review with an SMS text goes out. Really cool, really clean, and it's a great way to stack reviews and rank higher on your local service. What's up, guys? Dalton Big Sky Automation here. We are over in GHL, and just want to kind of go over. We're on a demo account right now. We're going to kind of go over things that you want to look for. Maybe you wanted to get in this and provide the service to somebody else. Maybe you want to do this for your own business. When you log into GHL, the main core factors that you want to focus on is if you are white labeling this for somebody else, you can limit to what they can see. I would just limit them to Launchpad and reputation and reporting. That's really all they need, and contacts. So once we're in here, if we were to go through the process of onboarding somebody, we would have them connect their Google Business Profile. They can go through the steps right here. This can connect to their socials for all the social media posting. That could happen with the review generation. Same thing with connecting to manage their Google Business Profile so AI can respond to the reviews themselves. But let's head on down to reputation. Okay, so this is just a demo account. These are not my accounts. I just came up with a random name. So in here, the first thing you do is you want to connect the client's Google Business Profile or your Google Business Profile for your business. You want to configure the reviews for AI. This is just a high overview. Send your first review request, set up a link review, and then create a new review widget. So this is what's going to go on your website, and then connect to more platforms. So let's go to requests, send a review request. So here's where you can kind of go through your contact names all inside of your database itself. If you were going to do reactivation, you would just upload a client's file into GHL, a CSV file, comma separated value, and then from there you'd put them on a drip campaign. In another video we can go over the automation behind that and the custom values that are needed to plug that in. But from here, this is where you're going to basically, if you want to send your first review request, this is how you do it manually, and you can show which ones are out as well: SMS, WhatsApp, and email. These are just to see reviews that are coming in. You can see the ratings. Then here is the widgets for the website. This is where you can kind of see where if somebody's got some reviews within here. This is how you'll actually get to see how it will display on the website. This is embedded code that you put on there. Really cool. Listings. This is actually a really cool feature in GHL. It's like Yext, but now they use a different tool. It's called Listings, and this is basically just to push your website across a bunch of, or not your website, sorry, your NAP, your name, address, phone number, across a bunch of directories and backlink some of those places. And it locks that information in so nobody can go in and edit it, change it, do anything like that. And it's really cool because it's affordable, but it does help Google trust you, and it's done within, I'd say a lot of them get pushed out the same day anywhere. I think it's over like 70 directories that it does. And it pushes out, and within those directories, it makes sure that all of your information is correct, and then Google trusts you more. It's really cool. And then the Google Business Profile Optimization. This is just to help you show like what on your profile can be optimized better, and if it's missing information, and then you can basically go from there. So let's head on over to automation. We built out this Jobber integration where we could basically get to, if we were using another CRM to pull information in to send out that review request. GHL's native review request system only works inside of GHL. You cannot use it for outside software. So you have to build in basically a custom automation to pull that data in and to set a trigger with it. So let's go ahead, click into the automation. So we built an inbound webhook. Inside of the webhook, I just generated some basic content like that would be on Jobber. So first name, last name, email, phone, job type, job completed at with the timestamp, dispute flags, headers for the actual profile inside of JobFlare. All this information would be sent over in a JSON, it's JSON, and then that would be received from here. Jobber's got like a developer tool that you'd pull this information from and plug in this post get put, this URL, and that's it, actually sends and receives the actual webhook information. So as soon as they create an invoice, as soon as that invoice is done, it would create the webhook and it would send it inside of GHL. We then would create a contact, and inside of that contact, what we did is we took the first name, that's what we want the first field to be, and then we went in and grabbed, I'll do one just for an example. Here we're going to go into our custom values, and then since we did an inbound webhook trigger, this does populate, so we want to go ahead and go to that one. It is on a custom value, and this is where we're going to find the first name, and this is inbound webhook request file first, or request first name. So that data is going to come in and be slotted right in here into create update contact. Same thing for the last name, email, job type, job completed at. This is the timestamp and the dispute flag. The dispute flag is if the person in Jobber had any discrepancies with, maybe there was a delay on payment or anything like that. So the system will be able to check before it sends out a Google review, or if there was anything that went wrong with the customer for notes and stuff like that. As long as we pull that information in, the system can check. The next step would be a condition, so an if else. So if there's a dispute, we're going to go ahead and label it true, and then the workflow ends. We don't send the review request. If there is no condition met where there's a dispute, so if it's false, it's going to send the first SMS. With inside the SMS, it goes hi contact, basically first name, thanks for choosing, Rick's Roofing for your contact job type. We'd really appreciate a quick Google review. And then you need to put a custom value Google business link in here. And you need to make it a trigger link. And what does that mean? So trigger links are basically where you can track if an action was taken because that link was clicked on. So the reason why we want to know if that is a if the link was clicked on, is because that's going to be our next if else condition. We don't want to follow up with them if they've already left a review. The system can't go actually check if there's a review, so we just need to put another safeguard in place that if they clicked on it, more than likely they left a review. So if they click on it, the actual workflow ends, and then the same thing happens again. If it doesn't, if they wait and it times out, after 2 days, we send another follow-up text message saying the same thing. Hey, contact first name, just circling back. If you have 30 seconds, we'd love a Google review. Thanks either way. Now we have to do this in a way that we can't like send them to another software or another page that tries to filter out 4 and 5 stars, because that is called review gating. That actually just cracked down on that FTC, and they are fining big companies millions of dollars because they are trying to avoid the 4 star and the lower star ratings other than 5. So you cannot review gate. It is illegal. Okay. And then once it goes through that process, if it times out, then it's going to go ahead and send a final one. And from that, it's the same thing. You have a trigger link. So that is the logic behind building an SMS. You could add email in here if you wanted to also attack that way. Just have the same trigger link in both, and if they open either or, that's when you'd set up the statement to also not send another SMS for that. So in itself, that's how you would think about the logic for running reputation management for another client, assuming you have their phone number through A2P certification and you set up a subdomain email. Other than that, that is reputation management in a nutshell of how you would build this for a client. Hopefully this helps you out in your journey if you're doing this for someone else or you're doing this for your own business. Either way, thanks for watching.